Hello, I'm Jim Hodgson, and this is the making of my totally independent, feature-length documentary film, The Mostly Serious History of Wine. First of all, why wine? Because it's terribly interesting. Wine has been with us since before recorded history, but for most of that time, it was gross. I mean, people drank it because it helped make the water safer to drink. That's it. Modern wine, of course, is very different. You can think of a winemaker like a painter. Every year, in order to survive, they have to make this work of art, but they can't just go and buy paint. They have to make it themselves every year. So what if the weather is bad that year? Well, they have to be able to roll with it. I mean, that is just, it's so beautiful and hard and heartbreaking and fascinating. I guess I feel like winemakers have to have the same feeling I have, which is just not being able to live happily without making things. But the thing that they've chosen to make relies on the weather, which is, just to say it a shorter way, these people are out of their fucking minds, and I'm fascinated by them. I also love the idea of a piece of art that maybe gets better if you don't appreciate it. So as it ages in the bottle, maybe it gets better, maybe it gets worse. You don't know until you try it, but once you try it, it's gone. There are lots of wine documentaries out there. I've watched all the ones I could get my hands on. They're about lots of different stuff. People studying to become sommeliers. They're based on regions or small sectors, smaller sort of stories, which honestly is probably a good idea. And, but there's not a film that tries to tell the whole story of the history of wine up until now. And that might be because I too am out of my fucking mind. But hey, that brings me to another question. I'll be straight up with you. I am terrified that I will fail. I have had huge professional setbacks before, and it does not feel great. I don't want to waste money, and I don't want to be embarrassed. But we only live once, and I'm one of those people who cannot not make things. I have no mentorship on this. I'm going to have to figure the whole thing out for myself, from pre-production all the way through to distribution. But here's what I do know. I know that previously, when I've taken a humorous look at things, people seem to like it. People seem to like my books. The only problem with books is that industry is controlled by Jeff Bezos, and he doesn't share money with anybody, not even his government. I also know I can direct. I've directed tons of stuff, but most importantly, big projects like plays. For my first play, I learned a lot, but I only had 6 shows. So I worked for a year on the script, and I did all the pre-production, all the casting and the rehearsals and all that stuff. And then 6 shows. And I felt like just when people started to kind of get what I was doing and word of mouth started to build, the run was over. When I put on my second play, we did all that same work again. And then we finally had opening night. And then COVID hit. So what can I make where I can apply my love of storytelling, my ability to approach factual subjects sort of humorously, my ability to direct, and my willingness, I guess, to work hard for a long time on something without having it disappear at the end, something that'll hang around when it's done. Hey, let's make a film. This project is underway. I've shot 2 interviews with some brilliant interviewees that you guys are going to love. So I've already had to go through the processes of location releases and insurance and talent releases and finding a director of photography. And I'll get into all that stuff in future videos. So like and subscribe. And I'd love to have you come and check those out. If you have some advice for me, I'd love to hear it. If you're a film financier, I'd love to spend your money. But if you also are considering a project like this, start working on it. Tell me about it. Come on, y'all. Let's do this. Let's make a film.